Meal prepping is the most effective way to stay consistent with your nutrition and put your fat loss goals on easy mode, right? Because when your food is ready, you don't have to think about it. The problem is, though, that traditional meal prepping can be an absolute pain in the ass. It's really time consuming. Nobody wants to spend hours every single week prepping their food. It can feel boring to eat the same thing every single day. It's completely unnecessary, by the way. And if you're busy, you work full time, you have a busy schedule, you have a family, the last thing you want to do is spend your entire Sunday in the kitchen cooking your food up for the week. It's not realistic. So in this episode, what I want to do is share with you a very simple meal prepping framework that I've developed that will help you solve all these issues, okay? It's really designed to simplify your nutrition so it doesn't take a ton of time. 2 hours max. 2 hours max for the week, okay? So it doesn't feel super boring because we're going to use different tips and techniques to spice up your food so it tastes good. And lastly, so you don't have to eat the same thing every single day. Because the worst thing in the world is when you actually take the time to meal prep and then you don't eat the food 3 days in simply because you're already bored of eating the same thing every single day. This way, by implementing this framework, you can actually stay consistent with your meal prep with minimal time commitment in a way that's actually enjoyable so you can crush your fat loss goals, all right? What we're going to cover in this episode is the general framework of how to apply it. And then if you want more specific ideas for actual recipes and all of that good stuff, my free meal prep guide is going to be down in the description of this episode. Just go down there, click on the link and download it. There are dozens of recipes and ideas for you to implement the stuff that I'm going to be sharing with you here today. So let's go ahead and talk about how the framework actually works. We are going to break this down into 4 specific steps. The first step is actually shopping for the stuff that you need. And I know this can be overwhelming sometimes when we're like, man, what do I buy? There's so many different options. I really want to simplify this. The core idea or the core rule with this method is that every meal in this system is going to have 3 pieces: a protein, a carb, and a vegetable. Super simple. You can say vegetable or fruit, okay? But that's the backbone of each of the meals. If you remember nothing else from this episode, remember a protein, a carb, and a vegetable at most of your meals. Why? Because protein, 1, helps keep you full. It's very satiating, but if you're working on fat loss, it will also help you preserve muscle mass, which if you watch or listen to any of my content, you know how important it is to focus on preserving muscle mass while you're losing fat. When it comes to carbs, specifically whole food-based carbs, they are incredibly helpful for fat loss because they have low caloric density, you get a ton of fiber, different micronutrients. They really help with hunger and satiety regulation. And I really want to double down on the carb piece because many of you guys, if you're just finding my content or you're new here, you might have seen a lot of content that tells you that carbs are bad for fat loss. That is simply not true. Whole food-based carbs like potatoes, rice, whole grains, beans, they're incredible for overall fat loss and maintaining a healthy body. And lastly, veggies. Veggies are technically a carb, but the veggies are going to help add more volume, more fiber, and they're rich in micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, all of which are incredibly helpful for us. So anytime you have a meal, if you want a healthy, complete meal, if you have a lean protein, a whole food-based carb, and some veggies, you can feel pretty confident that is 1, an overall healthy meal, and 2, will help you with fat loss if you have a fat loss goal. So to keep this simple, what I want you to do is choose 2 to 3 protein sources for the week. That could be literally anything you enjoy. Chicken breast, chicken thighs, lean ground beef, turkey, seafood, salmon, shrimp, any other type of fish. It could be eggs, Greek yogurt, protein shakes, right? A combination of things. For me, what I typically go for is chicken breast. Or actually, I rarely eat chicken breast. I like chicken thighs. But if you're trying to go a little bit leaner and reduce calories, chicken breast would be a better option. But I typically rotate between chicken thighs, lean ground beef, lean ground turkey, and fish. I love shrimp. I love salmon. Those are typically the proteins that I personally rotate through. Pick 2 to 3 of those, and you can choose different ones every week, right? As far as carbs, any whole food-based carb goes. Rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, pasta, beans, oats, whole grain breads. They're all good. I personally rotate between rice, sweet potatoes, and I have a decent amount of whole grain bread because I like toast with my breakfast, and I like having sandwiches because they're simple to put together. But pick 2 sources of carbs that you're going to have for the week, and then pick 2 sources of veggies. Broccoli, green beans, bell peppers, zucchini, it literally doesn't matter. A bag, salad mixes, right? Frozen veggies, it does not matter. For me, what I typically really like rotating between is salad mixes because my wife and I love having a nice big salad. Or I rotate between that and like frozen veggie mixes that I can just throw in the oven very easily. So at Costco, I forget the specific mix, but there's one that I really like that has like squash, zucchini, onions, bell peppers. It's delicious, right? And I like variety, so those mixes are really nice and they're really handy because I don't have to cut everything and do it from scratch, okay? Being done with this step means that you have identified 2 to 3 protein sources that you're going to be making, 2 or so carb sources, and 2 or so veggie sources. You could do more, you can do less, but I like that 2 is a solid number, and you'll understand why later in the episode when I talk about the specific mix and match method that we're going to be using for variety. Now, once we know what we're buying, 1, we need to go out and buy it, or if you want to use a delivery service, that makes it even more convenient. But the next step is to cook everything in a way that is extremely time efficient. The whole prep and cook phase should take you no more than 1 hour. You have 1 hour per week to commit to meal prepping. And if you don't, you might want to reconsider this whole thing about being healthy and getting in better shape because it's going to take time, right? But it shouldn't take longer than an hour. The main thing we want to do to make it as time efficient as possible is to cook things in bulk. And in order to be able to cook them in bulk, we need to be able to have methods that allow us to cook things in bulk. Okay, so when it comes to the proteins, let's talk about the proteins first. You can bake stuff in bulk, right? You can have a sheet pan and lay out a bunch of chicken breasts or thighs or your fish or whatever it is that you're going to be using. Baking is a great way to cook in bulk. What I want you to aim for is at least 2 to 3 pounds of each of the protein sources. So for the week, you have 6 to 9 pounds of protein. Again, it just depends on how much you need to be consuming based off your size. A larger person is obviously going to consume more, but make sure that you're cooking at least 2 to 3 pounds of each so you have enough for the week. And these methods will help you do that. So baking is one way. Slow cooking is another way. I love having a crock pot and just throwing in a bunch of chicken with some broth, making some pulled chicken, right? So a slow cooker would be another, or a slow cooker or a crock pot, which is essentially a slow cooker, would be another great method. Another great method is grilling, right? I love grabbing a bunch of burger patties and just throwing them on the grill. Very simple way of cooking all of your protein all at once. So selecting methods that allow you to cook a large amount of food at once. You don't want to be cooking everything in a skillet. Trying to cook 7-8 pounds of protein in a skillet is a nightmare and will certainly take you longer than an hour on just the protein. Another option, if we want to make it even more time efficient, is to purchase protein sources that are already pre-cooked. So all you have to do is microwave it, right? I sometimes buy the Chipotle chicken from Costco or just different sorts of proteins that are already pre-cooked. All you have to do is warm them up. Obviously, those are typically a little bit more pricey, but it is more convenient, right? We're always trading price for convenience here. But if you're going to be cooking, again, just select methods that allow you to cook a lot with very minimal effort. For the carbs, same sort of concept. Keep it super simple. I like to cook a ton of rice all at once in a rice cooker. Sometimes I buy pouches of rice that are already ready to go. All I have to do is microwave it. If you're doing potatoes, sweet potatoes, I like taking a whole bunch of sweet potatoes and just popping them in the oven at 350 for like an hour. Think about how easy that is. You grab sweet potatoes and you put them in the oven and you turn the oven on. That's it. Then after they roast, I mash them up because I love mashed sweet potato. You can cook a whole bunch of pasta in one bowl. You can, if you like beans, I think beans are one of the healthiest foods that you can consume from a nutritional perspective. You can just buy canned beans. So very simple methods to also prepare your carbs. And then same sort of concept for the veggies, right? Throw them in a sheet pan, throw them in the oven, salad kits, you don't even have to do anything with them. You just open them up and put them on your plate. So when we're talking about prepping here, we're not talking about recipes or like what seasoning you use or anything like that. We'll talk about that next in terms of how to make it taste well, but make sure that you are using cooking methods that are very simple and very time efficient. So we are shopping for very simple ingredients, 2 to 3 protein sources, 2 to 3 carb sources, 2 to 3 veggies. And now we are prepping them in a very, very simple way for convenience and time, right? I want you to keep in mind, you don't have to cook everything from scratch. You don't have to buy everything fresh, and you don't have to spend hours chopping stuff. Oftentimes I buy protein sources that are already cooked. When it comes to veggies, I buy stuff that's already chopped, frozen, mixes, because it just makes it substantially easier. You can buy canned beans, canned veggies. I would just rinse them before you consume them, but it makes it so easy. And then if you are cooking, baking, slow cooking, or grilling are some of the best methods to be able to cook a lot all at once so that it takes a small amount of time. So being done with this step means that you have obviously define what you are purchasing, but also define how you are going to be prepping it. For me, on a weekly basis, what I typically do is cook up a big container of rice in the rice cooker, cook up probably like 8 to 10 sweet potatoes in the oven. Alongside that, I'll throw in the oven usually like salmon or a big roast, right? Something super simple. I might slow cook some chicken thighs to make like shredded chicken. I might grill up some burger patties or some steaks, but like those are typically the proteins that I'm rotating between. And then the veggies, again, sheet pan veggies with the mix, or just like salad mixes, right? The next step, now that we've determined how we're gonna cook it in a very simple fashion, is how do we actually make this stuff taste good? Because the problem is that if you just do what I've outlined so far, your meal prep is going to be boring. It's going to be dry. It's not going to taste good. You're going to stop eating it by Wednesday. Okay. So here are some tips to make your meal prep taste really good and still keep it as simple as possible. First and foremost, sauces. I want you to keep a few go-to sauces that you really enjoy that are low in calorie, but big in flavor, right? So for me, I really like low calorie barbecue sauces. Salsa is amazing. If you like salsa, you can just add some salsa to your meals. Hot sauces, light teriyaki sauce, mustard. There are a bunch of Greek yogurt-based dressings. At most local grocery stores, there's like a whole aisle of healthy sauces, right? Just focusing on low calorie there, because that way you can have the same meal and mix it with slightly different sauces to get more variety when it comes to taste. Beyond sauces, make sure you have different spice blends. There are different like garlic and herb blends, taco seasoning, Italian seasoning, different curry blends. I'm big on flavor. I like even the same protein sources, just seasoning them up differently gives you variety. So even if you're putting, let's say, 2 to 3 pounds of chicken breast in the oven, you can do like half of it with one spice blend, half of it with another spice blend for a little bit of variety. The last thing you can do here, again, sauces, spice blends, is to rotate your cooking methods, right? If you do shredded chicken one week, you can do like shredded chicken in the slow cooker. You can then do grilled chicken the next week, right? And maybe your shredded chicken that you're doing in the slow cooker, you add salsa to, so it has more of like a Spanish flavor, right? You could do taco seasoning and fresh salsa, and that would be a really tasty shredded chicken. And then the next time you can do more like garlic and herb grilled chicken, right? Super simple, but now you start to see how you can play with all of these pieces. Different sauces, different spice blends, different cooking methods gives you variety. So it's the same simple ingredients, but it doesn't get boring, right? Now, the last piece is we've determined what we need to purchase, how we're going to be preparing it, and then how to make it taste good. The last step here is introducing you to what I like to call the mix and match method. It is the simplest way to add variety to your meals. What I don't like when people meal prep is they meal prep individual meals, right? And then you pack it in individual containers. What we're doing here is not making individual meals. It is building up the components of your meals, the proteins, the carbs, the veggies, and then we are going to mix and match so that instead of cooking 10 different recipes, you're just focusing on the building blocks, and now you can mix and match and combine, right? The name says it all. We're mixing and matching. So Here are some examples. Let's say you prepped for your protein some grilled chicken and some ground beef. Let's say for your carbs, you cooked up some rice and some mashed sweet potato. Those are my go-tos. And let's say for your veggies, you made some roasted broccoli and then you made a mix of like pepper and zucchini. Well, there are a ton of different meals that you can make there. Chicken, sweet potato, broccoli. Chicken, rice, mixed veggies. Ground beef, sweet potato, broccoli. Ground beef, rice, mixed veggies. And then on top of that, you can use different sauces to flavor each of them differently. Different spices, right? Like you can add the different sauces on top of the meal so that it tastes differently every single time. So like you could do ground beef, rice, and mixed veggies with some low-calorie barbecue sauce today, and you can do the same meal with some low-calorie teriyaki sauce tomorrow. When you start to understand the different building blocks, how to prep stuff easily, and how to make it taste good so you can have variety, you don't feel like you're stuck eating the same plate over and over and over again. When I prep, I always prep this way so that it feels like I'm having fresh, different meals on a daily basis, even though I'm really not. I'm kind of just tricking myself. But when you mix and match the stuff, different flavor profiles just give you a little bit more variety and novelty so you don't get bored, right? I would just go to the fridge. I'm like, what protein do I want? I want this one. What carb do I want? I want this one. What veggie do I want? I want this one. And what am I feeling today? Asian? Okay, I'll add a little bit of teriyaki sauce. That is it. When you put all of this together, you have a really simple structure that makes your nutrition a lot easier so you can really crush your fat loss goals. It'll also help you stay more consistent with making sure that you eat your protein, your fiber, because it's baked into the structure of the meals. You'll have fewer random takeout meals because you don't have food prep that you're too bored to eat what you already have. And it reduces overall decision fatigue so you don't have to think about what you're going to be doing, right? That decision fatigue is often what makes it difficult for people to stay consistent. So hopefully this framework has been helpful for you. I want you to know this is not the only way to meal prep, of course, but I do think it's a very simple and practical way to meal prep. If you do implement it, either send me a message or if you're watching on YouTube, comment down below. Let me know what you think, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Again, if you want specific ideas for recipes and how to prep all this stuff, I know that this episode is fairly theoretical. The link to the actual meal prep guide that outlines this in more detail and has like a ton of different recipes is down in the description, and it's completely free. Just click the link and download it. And if you are ready to take your health and fitness to the next level and you want expert guidance and support from a team of master's and PhD level educated coaches who have worked with over 1,000 clients at this point, do not hesitate to reach out. This is what we do professionally. This is what I do professionally, help people improve the overall quality of their nutrition, training, and lifestyle in a simple and practical way so they can lose fat, build muscle, and become the strongest and most confident version of themselves. Just head over to strongstandard.com and submit an application. The link to do that will be down in the description as well. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you in next week's episode. Peace.